Tim Lightfoot. I'm the construction director at McCarthy Stone in the Midlands region. I'm also the business lead for construction for McCarthy Stone. I've been with the company for some 3 years, and we've tried Porotherm. We trialled on a site, and we've had a huge success at our site in Dorridge, where Porotherm has proved to be a great material for us. It's really important that anyone looks at Porotherm from a holistic approach. So you've got a material which, okay, is a little bit more expensive than traditional, but then from a bricklaying point of view, you're laying it quicker, so there should be a labour saving. You've got a safer site, you've got a cleaner site. The parge coat, the eco parge, goes on very, very fast. It's a completely unskilled operation that we do with the yard brush using either one of the bricklayers' labourers or one of our labourers. So actually, if you take a completely holistic approach to Porotherm and do all the pluses and minuses, we're pretty confident that it washes its face. So you will lay Porotherm in a parge situation for the same cost as you would lay a traditional material. The larger the footprint of the building, the better the benefit we see from Porotherm. If we've got a smaller building, 20, 22 units, you don't see so much of a benefit. But when you've got a very large building, and certainly the next one we're looking at, we've got a large AL coming up in Stratford, and that just says Porotherm all over it. You know, it's a huge footprint. It's edging up towards 60 units, and I'd expect to take probably 3 weeks of floor out of that building. So, 9 identifiable weeks. But it's not necessarily the identifiable weeks that's the big win for us. It's, as I say, it's changing that critical path. So we're looking at, instead of getting our first units weather tight at circa week 25, we'd be looking to get our first units weather tight at week 20. So you're not only decreasing your heavy build period, you're also changing the critical path by 5 weeks off the job and giving yourself more program certainty to deliver to the program we're allowed. So it's a huge benefit to us. Another benefit from the Porotherm program, by hitting our weather tight date earlier, so we hit wall plate quicker. That enables us to get weather tight, which enables us to create our show arena. So we'll put together a sales office and a couple of show homes, a 1 bed and a 2 bed, and that enables us to get people in, so potential customers into the building quicker. So instead of being open for sales 8 weeks before first occupation, we can be open 16 weeks before first occupation, and that's huge. A number of customers will visit us 3 times before they commit to buy, and the McCarthy Stone product, looking at the age ranges on assisted living, our average age of customer on move-in is in their late 80s, and they don't like to be rushed, and it really gives them the opportunity to come in, see it, touch it, feel it, and it really helps us to sell. And of course, like every business, if we're not selling, we don't survive. So that's perhaps a hidden benefit of the system that we've really benefited from, that we didn't expect. For us, we've seen the speed of build. I can honestly say we overachieved on a program. We built a large apartment block in excess of 50 units, assisted living with a large kitchen, a large residence dining room, and a living room. And we murdered the program. We were in and out within 12 months, which I don't think has been done at McCarthy Stone before. And a lot of that is down to the passion of the entire team, both in the office and on site. But fundamentally, the Porotherm product made that difference. The additional benefits we saw, we got a better air tightness. I think there were a couple of spurious results on our top floor, but we were getting towards a 3 on air tightness regularly throughout our testing. Thermal performance was higher. We've been able to change some of our fabric because of that, and a very comfortable building to work in, and a very comfortable building to live in. Waste on building sites. If you look at waste in the traditional senses, things that get broken and chucked into skips, you tend to find there's less Porotherm wastage. I think, when bricklayers cut it, they can cut it with a reciprocating saw. and you're able to use both halves of the block. If you cut a block into three, you can use all three. The most interesting one for me is the lack of mortar waste. We waste as an industry an awful lot of mortar. You get a gang of bricklayers, they can fill a skip in a day with half enders of bricks and half enders of blocks and all the mortar they didn't use. Of course, because the Porotherm system uses a mixed adhesive, you tend not to have that mortar waste. You spend less time sweeping up at the end of the day. You end up with a safer working environment because you've got less stuff to trip over, so you reduce your slips, trips and falls. So there's again these to keep finding these added benefits that perhaps we didn't appreciate before we started, and then having built with Porotherm these sort of little added benefits, you end up with a safer workplace without really trying too hard is a good plus. Cold weather working with Porotherm, we kind of heard about it, and everyone has said the ZeroPlus mortar. And when we were sort of looking at Dorridge, it wasn't on the radar that, hey, this is going to let us build through the winter. I think one of the most exciting weeks for me was having a drive round. We'd had a cold spell. All the bricklayers on all our sites had stopped. Sam rang me up on the Thursday. We had a bit of a chat, and he said, by the way, we've laid 20,000 blocks this week. And that was a real coup for us because it enabled our programme to keep going so we can hit our critical path. And we were chuckling because when we talked to E.H. Smith delivery drivers and sort of, they hadn't done many loads that week because as the industry comes sort of to a grinding halt, no one's, taking bricks, no one's taking blocks. And I think we took a number of deliveries that week. I think we had an Arctic load a day. And it enables us to hit our programme. So that was perhaps another one of these benefits that whilst we'd heard about it, we'd been told about it, it wasn't until we experienced it that we realised what a great benefit that was. And that was in a particularly warm winter. We didn't have one of those extended cold spells, but I have to say, if we had a winter where it freezes up for 4 or 6 weeks, and we had one 2 or 3 years ago, I think 2010-11, if you were building with Porotherm, you would still hit your programmes. And that's, again, a huge benefit to us. It's about buy-in. I think what we now know about the product, the biggest thing for me was we had to have buy-in from everyone. It has to be buy-in from our own technical department, which we got, buy-in from a construction department, which I think we had. We picked up a subcontractor that told us he was a Porotherm expert. It transpired perhaps he was, but the people he sent to us weren't. And I think there was a bit of negativity from the bricklaying gangs that were sent. And it's like everything, isn't it? A lot of people in our industry fear change. We commenced a building. It didn't go particularly well for us, but we could still see there was a benefit. I think the Page coat seemed to work very well. When we were laying it in anger, it went up very quickly. And that particular job as a first job for us didn't go from a structure point of view as well as we would have liked. But that said, I think it's like everything in life. Some things you try, but you can see the benefit. And it would have been very easy to eschew it at that point and sort of go away from it. Perhaps twofold, really. I was very keen to do it and do it properly. Sam approached me and said he wanted to embrace it and to take a bigger building, the right subcontractor, the right on-site team. And we walloped it. It was absolutely fantastic. And it was one of those where once everyone bought into the product and wanted to make it work, we were able to really, really make it work, see the time benefits, see the program benefits, and deliver a fantastic product in the meantime for our customers. So it was great. Having been through the Porotherm journey and seen Porotherm at its worst, the first time we tried it, and in my opinion, Porotherm at its best at our Dorridge site, I'd have no hesitation recommending Porotherm for an apartment block. I think the larger your footprint, the better. Certainly for apartment builds, offices, budget hotels, anything with any sort of repeat student accommodation, I'd find it very difficult to not want to use Porotherm.